Okay, so let's read this problem again because it definitely is asking for a lot in one question. So we want to make sure that we're annotating important parts to begin to think of a plan to solve. So in your case, writing down these in your notes. Use the graph and its title to describe the relationship that the graph depicts. Identify 2 points on the line and explain what they mean in the context of the problem. What is the unit rate and how is it represented on the graph? Write an equation to represent the graph. So, oh my goodness, it seems like I've literally highlighted every single part. So I'm just going to go ahead and number all the things that we need to do because it seems like everything we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks is coming together within this one problem. All right, so let's think about how many things this problem is asking us to find. So it wants us to describe the relationship. It wants us to identify 2 points. It wants us to explain what those 2 points are. It wants us to find the unit rate and then show how it is represented on the graph and then write an equation to represent the graph. So there are 6 specific things that it wants us to have by the end of this problem. Okay, take a deep breath. It's going to be okay. So the first thing we know is that in order to describe the relationship, we got to look at the label and see what is going on with the title of the graph as well as the axes. So I'm kind of going to section off my paper so you do the same as well. So you're prepared to share 6 different responses for this one problem. So I see that the label says that there is rising flood water. So we're talking about like a flood season, maybe hurricane season. And then the x-axis is talking about the number of days, and the y-axis is talking about the number of inches of rain. Okay, so what do these points represent now that we're looking at this line? Well, it's showing that there's a constant rate represented on this line, and it's going through the origin. So what does that mean about this graph? Well, I remember that it's telling us it is proportional when it's a straight line and going through the origin. So we're going to put all this together in a sentence. So the number of inches, right, because this is the dependent variable, the number of inches, more specifically of rain, is proportional to the number of days it rains, which makes sense. So the more days it rains, the more inches of rain we have on the ground. It rains. All right, so we've described the relationship within the graph. So step 1 is done. Check. Now, the second part is saying to identify the 2 points on the line and explain what they mean in the context of the problem. So we're going to go ahead and try that out in an open-ended question.